Hello, this is Katie of Katie Speaking, and I'm joining you today from Cross Creek Christian School in Sweetwater, Tennessee. It's a university model Christian school, and we're going to unpack what that means in just a minute. Joining me is Stephanie Nelson. She is a mom of students here at Cross Creek and also a teacher. Welcome, Stephanie.
Thank you. Thank you for having me.
I'm so glad you're here. It was so much fun to talk with you about what Cross Creek has meant to you and your family. And your husband's had a special role in the school over the years as the CEO. And so you're a little partial to the school, of course. We have to say that up front.
Of course I am. It's true. And I teach here.
So you're partial, but with very good reason, and we're going to talk about all those reasons in just a second, but we wanted to highlight a couple of things, events that are happening that maybe some folks would like to know about, and just be ready with a paper and pencil in case you want to get involved with these things. One of them is the Sock Hop, March 24th. Then there will be the Bunbury Gala. And we'll unpack this a little bit later, and also a mission trip that the students are going to in Kentucky to serve the summer. Is that right?
That's right. In April. Actually, it's in April. So it's their spring break.
Oh, okay.
They've dedicated their spring break for a mission trip in Cumberland, Kentucky.
Oh, you don't hear about that every day. So going forward, you had such a compelling story of why Cross Creek works for you. It's not, university model is what exactly? Tell us.
Well, university model, and actually that is that's a trademarked kind of name. So we call ourselves university style because we are not under the university model umbrella, but we do university style. And it's kind of another name for university model, which is 2 days a week. The students come to classes. So they have instructors and they have lesson plans to follow. And they have their tests here and they have grades here that are provided by their teachers. So it's sort of like a private school, only we only come twice a week. The students only come twice a week. And then the other 3 days, they have lesson plans to follow at home. So it's like homework for those 3 days.
Okay. And why did you want to do that for your family? Had you originally been a homeschooling family or a public school family, or what was your educational background?
Well, I hopped between private school and public school growing up because of whether or not my parents could afford private school. And sometimes it was just the decision that we made. So I went back and forth. So it's traditional schooling, what I would call traditional schooling, either private or a public school. But as I was a teenager, homeschooling was just starting up. And so those were the pioneers. And my sister, who's 14 years older than I am, she decided to homeschool her girls. She has 4 girls. So I watched her homeschooling her girls, and I just loved the way they were turning out, and I thought, they were awesome kids. I've got 2 brothers who homeschooled their children, and they're so much older than I am, I got to see if this was going to work or not. I got to see their children as models of what homeschooling looks like and what kind of kids it turns out. And I really liked how their kids were turning out. So I had determined before I got married to homeschool my own kids.
And you're not from Tennessee, where we are in Sweetwater, Tennessee. Your family's from Florida, right?
Right. My family's from Florida. But I met a Tennessee boy, came to Hiawassee College for college, and we were freshmen together. And he fell madly in love with me, and it took him 3.5 years to convince me that he was the one for me. But thankfully he did, and he reminds me of that all the time, that was good. He was patient and kind and persistent, or we would not be together. And so we got married, and we lived up here for several years, and then we moved to Florida for a few years, and then we came back.
Yeah. So you're here now, and you were telling me that, homeschooling, for some people, they can do the whole thing at home, and that works for them, and some people are tempted to think, well, I could never homeschool. So where does Cross Creek come in and help with that?
Well, we are a good place to start, especially for parents who have students in traditional schooling. So perhaps you're a parent and your elementary school student is not reading as fast as they should, and it looks like they're going to hold them back or put them in special classes, and maybe it's just because it's a boy and he doesn't sit still long enough, and if you could just take one-on-one time. But you're worried about taking him out of a traditional school and homeschooling him yourself. You don't know how to teach them to read maybe, or you're overwhelmed by the fact that you are solely responsible. And so we're a good starting place for traditional schoolers, either private or public, who would like to homeschool, but they would like some structure with that. They'd like to know that there's a teacher who is, personally involved with their child, who's keeping track of their progress, and who can help if they need help. So
it sounds like there's an accountability that is there too, that maybe some personalities need more than others.
Definitely, because that would be my personality. I did do total homeschooling for my kids prior to Cross Creek, and we have 5 beautiful children who I'm very proud of. They're awesome kids, but I was doing total home up until we came here. So my oldest was in 5th grade when we came to Cross Creek, and it was very difficult for me to get all my schooling done. We were always schooling through the summer, or just to finish our curriculum or to get through what we didn't get through. Because, if it's a beautiful day and my kids just want to go outside and play, and I would say, sure. I just didn't have enough self-discipline myself all the time to make sure they got their work done. And quite frankly, sometimes kids work better for another teacher, not mom. And so I found that this worked so much better for me because I'm accountable. There is a teacher who's going to know if I did not make my child do his schoolwork that day. Mm-hmm. And so I'm accountable to a teacher to get work turned in on time, to make sure, all my bases are covered. And my children are accountable to somebody other than me. Mm-hmm. So where I might not be picky about handwriting, or if things are legible because I just want to get through the work, there's a teacher who will make sure that everything's the way it's supposed to be. And my kids will work sometimes for their teacher much more diligently. They are much more aware of disappointing her or him than they are of disappointing me if the work isn't up to par, or, they don't get it done that day. So it's been good.
That's wonderful. You were speaking with me before we started the interview, and you mentioned an experience that you had with students in your writing class for journalism, and how you were able to take the class. You did go outside, but you were able to still point out the different things that you wanted them to study in the newspaper, and different things you wanted them to extract to be able to write their own assignment, but you were able to take them outside. How big is your average class?
Here, our average class is anywhere from 6 to, usually we try to keep it around 12 students.
Oh, that's ideal.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's really nice. So you get to really know your students.
We do, yes. Well, we do, which I just, in composition, I was fussing at one of my students. I have 2 of my boys, my personal sons are in composition, but there are other children in there too. And I was fussing at someone else's child, and then I had to stop and say, I treat you just like my kids. I know them by name. I know what they're capable of. If they turn in work that I know is not their best work, I'm well aware, because, it's a personal connection. Right. And I can pull them aside and say, what's going on and what's with this, because this was not your best work. And I think you might have just, wrote this out really fast before class. And because we have that personal, there's so few of them that pretty much just you kind of know every student in the school, and we know them by name, and administration knows them by name, and can greet them in the morning, and fuss at them by name, and so it's really good.
Yeah, but I think that one of the things that's missing, a big chunk of what's missing from education, government-run education, is that community and is that relationship. That things are so big that you just can't have that kind of intimacy that you can in a group of 6 or a group of 12. And by intimacy, I mean where you know a person's strengths and weaknesses, and they know yours. And especially as we're trying to educate our kids, character comes out. And the ability to have a relationship over the course of years is so important in developing that character. You don't want what's one of the things? I'm thinking of 18 things at once, so forgive me, because I am so passionate about education myself. But one of the things that I was thinking of specifically is if you send a child who hasn't had a relationship with an adult, they go through school, whatever, public school, and then they graduate, and then they say get a job somewhere. that may be their first opportunity of having a regular connection with a small group of people that they are accountable to prior to graduating. And I don't want to say it's a scary thought, but it is, because that is the workforce that's coming up now, are people who are not connected with others, who are going to expect a high level of character from them, honesty and integrity and completing things on time and being kind to one another, and that there are repercussions for not being kind. So I see that in the Cross Creek students. Can I tell you a story?
Sure.
Okay. I know this is your interview, but but my husband
Is
teaches
it about my kids, and is it good? Because then you can tell it.
It's definitely. Well, we don't want to be too biased. If we're being biased, but we tell you we're being biased, is that okay?
That's okay in journalism, I think.
I think it is. And we're being honest
We
about our
call it
bias.
an editorial or an opinion piece. There
An
you
opinion
go.
piece.
Now we
There
can
you
be
go.
biased.
Now we can be biased. There you go. But okay, honestly, there is no unbiased journalism.
this is true.
It's impossible
Yes, I
in
do
human
that.
nature.
Yes, that
it
is
will
very
not.
true.
Yeah. So we all need to keep that in mind when we're watching the news next time. But what was the thing? Oh yes. Okay. So my husband and I went to go get chips and salsa here near the school one night, and my husband is a Spanish teacher here. He loves it. Loves the students here. And when we walked into the restaurant where we were getting chips and salsa, sitting around the table was his entire class of students. And they were hanging out together.
Must have been Mexi Wing.
It was
Can I
little
say
free
that?
press for Mexi Wings.
Sorry.
Who doesn't like that? Okay, I had bias against Mexi Wings because I'm like, we're in Tennessee. How good can the Mexican food be?
Yes, right.
But it was really
Was it? 'Cause
good.
I've never eaten there, so.
Oh, the salsa is
good?
so fresh. Yeah, we digress.
Okay.
No, but it's fine. But every one of the kids at the table said, "Hello, Mr. Smith," and was respectful and glad to see him. And you could tell the camaraderie among them. I mean, this was not a field trip. This was just something they went and did on their own. And I just think, oh, I love that. In this day and age, families, we can't be everything all the time.
Right.
It is a broken world. And so it is so beautiful to see a group of students who are at a school that is loving on them. And
I think that's one of the best things that we have here. The phrase "iron sharpening iron" comes to mind because they expect it's a reverse peer pressure here. It really this is especially the upper level because that's who I'm involved with the most as their teacher. That's 7th through 12th grade. But they expect a lot of each other. And so it's sort of reverse peer pressure. I mean, you don't want to get caught doing something because you're going to feel very badly and it's going to be very embarrassing because that's not who the group as a group is here.
Wow.
They have high standards and they have good character, and so it's more embarrassing to do something not to those standards, to not get your work done, or to not try in class, or not participate, or to speak badly of somebody else, because that's not what they do. And so it's sort of reverse peer pressure here, which I love for my kids. I love that.
That's just wonderful. Oh, okay. So I'm immediately thinking of whoever may be listening to this, friends who are listening that are just going, wow, I haven't heard about that lately. Even in a large Christian school, the pack mentality and, the lowest common denominator, that is what permeates the school. That is the culture of the school. And so it's just wonderful that this is a smaller group of students. So you have kindergarten through 12th grade, is that right?
Right. Kindergarten through 12th.
Okay. And then, if somebody wanted to sign up their students, what would the process be?
Well, the first thing they would do is they would come in and fill out an application. So that's our non-refundable. I think it's $50 fee. I'm pretty sure. For a family application, and that's a one-time fee, and it's so that we can process all of the information, because you'll fill out the application, pay the fee, and we will get records from whatever school they are coming from. If they are a traditional homeschooler and they are enrolled under another umbrella school, what we call an umbrella school, which is a Category 4 church-related school in Tennessee. There are several who are the umbrella schools that are very well known and very good schools. If they are a traditional homeschool student and they're already enrolled under one of these other schools, then they can attend classes here and they don't have to switch their enrollment. That's something that we offer. So that's especially for upper level. Because sometimes a traditionally homeschooled student, you're doing fine, parents are doing fine up until they get to maybe chemistry. And then they say, wow, we could use some help. And so we might have, that's the other thing about university system. Not only do you just come 2 days a week, but you can pick what classes you want to take. So even if you have a kindergartner and you just want her here just for the reading portion, the language arts, which is 2 hours in the morning, and then you want to take her home for lunch, because that's what you're nervous about, then you can just sign up for that. If you want to just bring a child in for a math class, we have a student that just comes in for Algebra 2. She can, everything else we can handle at home, but that particular class is difficult for the parents. So that's the other nice thing about university style. It's just like college. You pick your classes that you want to take. You only take as many as you want. You can take a full load, which is 6 hours, or you can just take what you need. And so I have no idea what the original question was. What was the original?
No, that was great. How to enroll? No, that's great.
Right. But so sometimes we have traditional homeschoolers, and all they really need is one class that their parents need help with. So then we don't ask them to switch their enrollment, because we do handle Category 4 stuff. We can keep your records, and we can make sure you're legal with the state and do all that kind of thing. And we offer those things, but for traditional homeschoolers, they might not want to switch that, but they just want to come in and take a class or two, and that's fine.
One of the things that I immediately think of when taking a class or two is what I recently heard about the drama classes that are going on. Okay, am I talking about the right topic with you?
Yeah, you can talk about drama. I love to talk about drama. I'm all about drama. Ask anyone.
What I love is, okay, I'm trying to remember what the name of the production was. Do you remember what it is? The most recent one that they're
the
working
one at
on?
Christmas, or the one at Christmas was Long Story Short. It was the entire Bible in under an hour.
Oh, right. Tell me about that.
Well, that was an amazingly difficult play to perform, and I helped direct that. So I was very proud of them all, because we had 22 kids in the cast.
Wow.
And each one probably had 5 or 6 parts. Because they played multiple parts, and they were on and off stage. Probably the most anybody besides the narrators were on stage was maybe 30 seconds. So they were going on and off stage for an entire hour. Had to remember multiple parts. Had multiple costume changes behind the scene. So it was.
And it was called The Bible in an Hour.
It was called Long Story Short.
Long Story Short.
Yeah, and it was The Bible in under an hour. A comedy. It was obviously. But it was quite a ride. Wow. And they did an awesome job. They did. It was amazing.
That is so neat. Oh, that sounds like fun.
It was.
Okay, I know everybody does, like, The Wizard of Oz and C.S. Lewis, which are wonderful as well. But that sounds like it was a lot of fun. Long story short, the Bible in an hour. Oh, great. Okay, well, some other things that I want to let everyone know about, because I think there are some stereotypes about homeschooling, or what it means to be part of an umbrella school in Tennessee, or what it doesn't mean to be part of an umbrella school. So let me just say real quickly, umbrella is not a legal term per se, but it does mean the category 4 school. Church-related school. And everyone who homeschools in Tennessee has to be registered either with their local education authority, so that would be like the local public school, or they can register through a church-related school. And the benefits of registering with a church-related school, correct me if I'm wrong, Stephanie, are that you have a different set of curriculum. You don't have to do what maybe your local public school is doing, and so there's more flexibility with that too. It's really more individual. It is an individualized education, which is best for individuals.
Well, most of us who decide to homeschool, and say in Tennessee we're homeschoolers, I think the last number I heard was like 93% of us we're private schoolers is technically what we are. We belong to some kind of private school that offers us, it's a church-related school, so it's considered a private school like Cross Creek. But if you do a total home program where you're at home, not doing classes at a school, you do get to choose your curriculum. The state has said it's up to whatever church-related school you're with. Let's say it's Cross Creek. If you're registered with Cross Creek, but you're not taking any classes, you're doing it all at home, the state says it's up to us to tell you what curriculum to use. And Category 4s generally say use whatever curriculum you would like to use. Do what's going to work for your students. Now, generally, we all have different graduation requirements, fairly close to what the state requires. We require some community service, and some umbrella schools require a certain ACT score to graduate. So that might differ between umbrella schools or Category 4 schools. But most of us, because we tend to be independent and a little stubborn homeschoolers, a little rebellious, there's a little rebel in us. So we tend to go with a Category 4 because then we can choose our curriculum. And you can choose whatever you want as long as it fits within whatever your umbrella school says is fine. So that's what most of us choose to do.
Very fun. So, or that's not the fun part. The fun part that I...
Well, that's fun because you ask any homeschool mom and you get those catalogs and you spread them out and you go to the curriculum fairs and you go look at all the new stuff and you convince your husband you have to have this computer software to teach his children. It's a little fun.
Right. Oh, it worked on my husband.
Yeah, there you go. See, we know how to do it.
That's right. Look, honey, I think you might really like this. I don't know. And then they look at it.
You will be so advanced. Let's try it.
That's great.
And then you go to used book curriculum fairs so that you can sell the curriculum you didn't use because it didn't work for your child, so you have money for the new curriculum next year. Yes. So we work it out.
We work it
It's
out.
a big
Very
cycle.
resourceful.
Yes, we are.
So, okay, resources upcoming. Things that folks may not know that are unique to Cross Creek are the events that are coming up. 3 that I want to touch on. The first one, the most recent, the nearest,
the next great event, the next great social event for the area. Yes. Would be, I hope that's a sock hop, right?
That is a sock hop.
Yes, that's what I meant. Definitely the sock hop. We invite the entire community and encourage the entire community to come to the sock hop. This year it's a sock hop. It's our annual silent auction and dinner fundraiser. We have done Western themes in the past. That was our spring roundup. This is our swing into spring sock hop. So there's lots of fun involved. We've got hula hooping contests with prizes. So if you've got great hips, come and show them off at the hula hoop contest. And we've got bazooka bubble gum blowing contests.
Oh, very fun.
We've got chicken and dumplings and mac and cheese cook-offs.
Cook-offs.
Yeah,
mac and cheese.
A little 50s comfort food going on. We've got 50s music. We've got a big 50s jukebox. You can request a song off of our playlist, so you can play there. Mine and my husband's song is the Hokey Pokey, so I'm planning on having that played.
Okay, so write this down. That's on March 24th.
March 24th.
Do the Hokey Pokey
with
with Stephanie and Randy Nelson.
And we will.
Love it.
And the nice thing about our kids here, our beloved kids, and my drama kids, is if I say we're doing the Hokey Pokey, there will be a crowd on the floor for the Hokey Pokey. We will have the biggest Hokey Pokey, circle. It's just awesome. Or what they call the homeschool oval, because for whatever reason we can't make a real circle. I don't know why, but
but you're right-handed.
But we're okay. Yeah, we'll see how University Model goes when we say put your right hand in. People can come and judge. Do I want my students in this school? Do they know their right from their left? And that will be a way they can kind of try us out that way.
Test.
Sure.
Hokey Pokey
And bring your checkbook because we got some great prizes at silent auction. But we've got Disney Park Hopper passes. Ooh. We've got a family getaway for 5 to Dover Gorge, which is a high adventure camp.
Wow.
We've got golf clubs and golf bag, and we've got Ripley's Believe It or Not, and we've got all sorts of good stuff.
That is so cool. Okay, so that's the sock hop. It's March 24th, so it's just around the corner, and it's from 6 to 8 p.m.
It is.
What's the location of that?
That is the First United Methodist Church in Sweetwater, in their Family Life Center.
In the Family Life Center. Okay, and for more information, we'll give the phone number after we finish with all of our goodies here that we've got to share still.
That sounds great.
Okay.
Or if you would like to donate an item for the auction.
Yes,
you can let me know.
It's a great way to publicize your own company.
It's awesome. And we've got sponsorships available. They are named after really cool 50s cars. And with that, if you have a business you want to advertise, that you want to get your name out to homeschoolers or to, our our population here that we have at Cross Creek and our friends. It involves PowerPoint for your business, and we have levels that we'll put your name up in our school. We give you ads for our yearbook, and it's all packaged in this nice sponsorship level. So,
oh, that's great. See, I didn't even know about that.
From $100 is our lowest. You get all sorts of cool stuff, plus complimentary tickets to the event, all the way up to our $1,000 sponsorship.
Yeah. And something to keep in mind is homeschooling families tend to be big.
Yes.
So you're building rapport for generations.
Absolutely. And just a plug for the event, we've got a $25 family ticket, and that's you and your 8 children.
Yes,
so
that's fabulous.
Because I've got 5 of my own, and I know buying single tickets is overwhelming. So we go with the family pass.
So that would be a great introduction to Cross Creek. Sock Hop, March 24th, 6 to 8 p.m. Okay, am I saying this right? Bunbury Gala?
Bunbury Gala. Very good.
Sorry.
Bunbury Gala. Yes. No, that was good. The Bunbury Gala this is our first time with a formal event, but we're very excited about it. And the upper level students here are very excited. So this is a formal event for 12-year-olds up through adult. And it is swing music predominantly. But we'll have some other music thrown in there too. It's a dance, and we encourage formal wear, semi-formal wear. So, and we encourage families to come. In fact, if you have students who want to come and are under the age of 18, they have to have a chaperone. Like I could take my older kids, and then I'm bringing my niece and nephew. So as long as there's a chaperone there who's responsible in case, behavior isn't what it should be, and we can...
Which never happens at Cross Creek.
Well, no, but this is open to the public, and who knows what will happen. So we don't know. So, so it's going to be, I want it to be a nice family sort of atmosphere, but for the older kids. Yeah. So, because they don't always get a chance to dress in formal attire and have a good time. But we're going to have food, and it's catered by Wesley, and it's at Tennessee Wesley. And so it's a very nice, upscale, very lovely place. And they are working with us on heavy hors d'oeuvres, and very nice, and we're and as classy as I can be. But we might dance the Hokey Pokey, because it is my song, and it is a dance. So I'm not sure how that'll go. We'll see.
I don't remember ever going to a prom where they didn't do some really, the polka or something.
Okay, but yeah. Or a line dance. But I don't know that any prom did Hokey Pokey, but we
did.
might.
I think we did. I have to check with my friends. Oh, yeah. Yeah, we were wild. Wild and crazy. Okay, so there's one more thing that we want to talk about, and that's the mission trip to Kentucky that's coming up.
Right. That is, they are leaving on the 9th of April, the students. We have actually, with adults going, we have 20 people who are going on a mission trip to Cumberland, Kentucky. It is, it's a former coal mining town. The median wage is $25,000 there. So it's rural, and they just are sort of a cycle of poverty there. And there's a mission there called Teen Center 180 Mission, and they provide educational opportunities for students in that area. So they provide tutoring, and they provide art classes and music classes and things that these students wouldn't usually be able to afford or even get in a town that small, things that wouldn't be available to them. This Teen Center provides that. That center also provides other services for unwed mothers who are in crisis and some other things. But our focus going up is discipleship with our teenagers going up, and they have been learning for this semester different dramas, different skits and songs, and they are going to teach these to the students up there. And then by the end of the week, not only will the Teen Center students have gone through Bible studies with our students, but then they will also have learned the parts to the skits. So our students can step out, and those students can perform the skits and the dramas for their parents. So it's sort of a way to teach discipleship to our students and show the students up there that there are young people that care about them and want to further them in their walk with the Lord or introduce Jesus to them and just care about them and love them and would give up. That's their entire spring break they're spending up there because they're not coming home till Saturday night.
Wow. I think I would want my kids to go on that. They're too young for that now, but oh, what a great opportunity. Stephanie, okay, so the phone number to call for Cross Creek for more information is 423-337-9330, 423-337-9330. This is not a paid advertisement. I am doing this because I love them.
And we are so glad
And you
that you
love
are.
us.
I do. You're my friend.
We're friends.
We're friends. Yes.
Of course. What wouldn't I do? But really, y'all, this organization has been such a blessing to our family, to our children, and to my husband, as we've gotten to know them over the last year. It's just really been something we wanted to be a part of and to support. So please do give them a call if you have questions, want more information. 423-337-9330. Stephanie Nelson of Cross Creek Christian School in Sweetwater, Tennessee. Thank you so much.
Well, thank you, and thank you for being here. I enjoyed it.
Yay! Thanks. Bye.
Bye.